This Metroid Prime 4 series covers how to get 100% scans and items in order with minimal backtracking. For best results, follow this series from the start of part 1. There will be spoilers in the form of important information, and as usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. We left off just after collecting our second teleporter key and leaving Voltforge. The next teleporter key we can get is located at the Ice Belt, and there are a few tasks we should take care of before going there. To start, we'll head east from Voltforge towards Flare Pool, where we need to make a brief stop. Along the way, we can scan some Golbats, Kyuviria, Sand Shren, and Varmis for the logbook, and there is another missile expansion along the path that can be obtained with a boost jump. We should also try to stay along the edge of the map and collect all green energy crystals along the path. Green energy crystals are required for a few upgrades, and more of them spawn in Soul Valley with every teleporter key that is collected. Currently, the only green crystals available are all located along the outer edge of Soul Valley, along with those that can be found in various shrines. It's not absolutely necessary, but if we can collect just about all currently available green crystals, we should have enough for the first upgrade, which increases the speed and damage of our Psychic Beam. This is very nice to get before going to the Ice Belt. For now though, we'll just try to get all green crystals on our path to Flare Pool. I'll show a few checkpoint locations to hit along the edge of Soul Valley, and as long as you stay along the edge while heading between said checkpoints, you should be able to get all green crystals available between Voltforge and Flare Pool. The only shrine we'll need to hit along the path to Flare Pool is the source of Spring Shrine. We won't be able to get the major upgrade inside without the freeze shot. However, we should be able to get all the green crystals and a missile expansion before exiting out the way that we entered. From there, it's just a short distance further south to reach the entrance of Flare Pool. Just after entering, we can go ahead and scan the Swarm Flyers, then activate and jump up the nearby Psychic platforms for a missile expansion. We'll then need to move east through Flare Pool and attempt to cross the large bridge that goes over a lake of lava. After a short cutscene plays out, we'll then move back west the way that we came in. We should eventually be stopped by a group of Cybot soldiers, and the projectile on Viola can make pretty quick work of them. Going through the door the bots came out of will bring us to a safe station, and we can scan the Vernon for a logbook along the way. Moving further south will bring us to an abandoned mining operation. We can scan the pyramids for our logbook, then jump up the nearby drill and free the fire chip with a psychic bomb. That's all we can currently accomplish in Flare Pool, so let's now head back out to Soul Valley. As mentioned earlier, I recommend getting all available green crystals before heading back to Fury Green to have the fire chip installed. To that end, we will move a short distance northwest until we reach the Ring of Thunder Shrine. There, we can scan the Sand Grievers waiting in ambush before defeating them. Then, we will manipulate a crystal on the back of the shrine to get our 4th energy tank. Once again, we won't be able to do much inside the actual shrine besides collect all the green energy crystals there. We'll then want to head back to the east edge of Soul Valley and ride up north along the edge, collecting all possible green energy crystals along the way. I'll show several key spots to make sure that you hit as you work your way around the valley. Here at the end, I'll show a summary of the path that I took around Soul Valley to get all currently available green energy crystals. You'll know you've made a round trip once you start running into quartz or gray color deposits instead of green ones, which should happen once you are about back down to Volt Forge, and ought to take no longer than 15 minutes. At that point, we should also have filled in the bottom fourth of the green energy crystals icon under the Missions tab of the menu. It will notify us to return to the spot where the crystals are deposited in Fury Green. With all that handled, we can return to Fury Green. Upon entering, we'll go use the cargo launcher to get just outside of home base. Before going to home base, we can activate psychic platforms to the east of the cargo launcher, then climb them to grab a missile expansion. Back at home base, we can speak with Mackenzie to get the fire shot upgrade, which is required for clearing ice and web obstacles. With the amount of green energy crystals we gathered, we can then move south to reach the Altar of Legacy, where we will turn them in for what is basically the most important upgrade, speed and damage for our Psychic Beam. While we're in the vicinity, let's move further south and go through the Morph Ball tunnel that we took after defeating Carvex. Just southwest of the Shren, we can use our fire shot to burn some webs away and get our first shot expansion. There are technically other items we can go get throughout Fury Green now, but I want to wait until we have all of the upgrades required to get all of the items in Fury Green before we do so. That way we can clear it all out in one trip. None of the remaining upgrades in Fury Green are energy tanks though, so it's not like we are missing anything super important. That being said, there is one more upgrade we can get on our way back to the cargo launcher. There's a door with a fire lock to the south of the launcher, and through the door is a puzzle that will require all elemental shots to fully complete. For now though, we can complete the puzzle at the center of the room with just Fire Shot and our Psychic Glove, moving a ring along a track to reveal 3 targets that can be lit with Fire Shot. Doing so will open another door to the south where we can grab yet another shot expansion. With that, we'll take the cargo launcher to return to the entrance of Fury Green. Before exiting, we can go down the ramp to the south and then up the ramp to the north, clearing webs with our fire shot to grab our 3rd shot expansion. That done, we'll move out to Soul Valley, whereupon a short cutscene will play out. With a new green rain showering the land, the wildlife will transform and become more aggressive. They can also be rescanned, but they still share the same logbook entry as their untransformed counterparts. As we move north towards the Ice Belt, we can stop at the Ladder of Thought Shrine. With our fire shot, we're now able to clear the webs that previously prevented access. Be sure to round up all the green energy crystals inside and scan the web crawlers for the logbook. Then alternate using the Psychic Glove on the 2 platforms to rise to the upper level. Before going to the final room, we can use a morph ball jump and bomb jump combo to reach an elevated tube, at the end of which is our 5th energy tank. Backtracking, we can then enter the final room to get the charged fire shot and interact with the teleporter there to quickly exit the shrine. It's just a short distance further north to reach the entrance of the ice belt, which will require the use of psychic platforms to enter. Upon entering the first room, we can clear some debris from a bomb slot to the north, then activate it to access a missile expansion. There is a safe station that we can use on the south side of the room before moving out to the west. We'll go ahead and scan the ice crawler on our way out west, and we can then find the scout bot for the ice belt near a pile of debris a short distance away. There's also a shot expansion here that can be revealed with fire shot. Moving north towards the distant facility will trigger an ambush by snow wolves. Make sure to scan one, then fend them off the best you can. Fire shot makes quick work of them, with our upgraded psychic beam also doing a fair job. The amount of wolves will eventually feel overwhelming, and it should be around this time that a cutscene plays out, leading to a retreat of the pack and allowing us to enter the nearby facility. Once inside, we'll go up to the top level and through the southern door to find a new NPC, Rieger Tokabi. Feel free to scan him now for the logbook, though I forgot to do this until later on. Then scan the nearby console for the first area map. We should now be able to blast our way through a maintenance shaft to the west, which leads deeper into the facility. The snow roaches can be scanned for the logbook, but also have a high chance to drop elemental shot ammo, which we need to melt plenty of upcoming obstacles in our path. Also, be careful to stop and scan the dart wings in the tunnel, then use a ranged area attack to deal with them. The first thing we need to do on this first level is restore power. To do that, we'll go up to the sidekick lock and then down the west hallway. There is the first of several research logs to scan as we enter, and we will use our fire shot and a psychic bomb to activate the nearby terminal, then interact with that to restore power on the rest of the level. Going back out, we will first clear the southwest hall, finding the first TK code fragment and a second research log. The TK codes must be oriented so that all pieces fit together in a 2D plane, sort of like a puzzle. The southeast hall is a bit more complex. Only one room can be accessed initially, and we will need to blast open a maintenance shaft to reach the second room. After scanning our third research log, we can open the nearby psychic container to get the psychic lasso ability. We can then use this to manipulate several objects in the room, collecting a shot expansion before we return to the previous room. There, we'll use our psychic lasso to open the middle sample container, where one sample can be scanned for a second TK code fragment. We'll finish up here by going down the northeast hall to get a missile expansion and our second area map for this zone. All tasks handled, we're now ready to scan and open the Psychic Lock unit, clearing the way deeper down into the facility. This is when we'll encounter our first light maintenance tank, which must be scanned for its own logbook entry. On our way to the next save station, we'll go ahead and scan the 4th research log found in the ice belt. Starting from the medical bay's safe station, we'll head out and to the east through a destructible window. In the last room on the west side of the hall, we can blast open a maintenance hatch and scan a capsule containing the first of 4 TK codes. Proceeding to the main concourse of this level, we'll start by going down the west path to scan the next 2 research logs and to collect a second TK code from a monitor that must be melted and pulled free. Returning to the concourse, we'll then go down the southern path to scan our 7th research log, collect a missile expansion, and collect our 3rd TK code after interacting with the console. Only one path remains. Starting from the concourse, we'll proceed down the east hall to scan our 8th and 9th research logs, then free the main sample at the end of it with Fireshot to collect our 4th TK code. The Psychic Lock unit is located just east of the Medical Bay's safe station. Unlocking it will allow us to proceed down to the power station level, scanning our 10th research log along the way. As we make our way through an exterior segment of the facility, we can scan the flying blue crowd. We'll also want to make sure we do not try to jump whenever the wind current is strong. The final exterior section requires us to use a couple of missiles, first to free the final bridge we must cross, then to blast an opening in the fractured glass on the other side. There are 3 more research logs to scan on this final stretch to the generator, bringing the total number of research logs for Icebelt up to 13. Though we are not currently able to use it, we can activate and scan a psychic ball track for our logbook near the main generator. We will then need to solve a puzzle to power back on the generator. First, we need to use Fireshot and Psychic Lasso to align a bomb slot with the generator's control terminal and activate it. We'll then need to use a series of 3 control beams to activate all 3 portions of the generator, which will bring the whole system online. This is the one major upgrade I missed on my playthrough, so hopefully all of you can get it before leaving here. After the power is restored, there should be a terminal to the southwest that lowers a ramp beneath the generator. Blasting through a maintenance hatch, we can then traverse it in morph ball form to get energy tank number 6 before making our way back topside. We can start by backtracking our way to the save station for the power station level. Along our way back towards the ice belt exterior, we'll need to activate a bomb slot that results in a cutscene. This will also open a nearby maintenance hatch for us to get back towards the top level. Just after exiting the tunnel, we can use a charged psychic bomb to open a shutter and get a shot expansion. Getting to the exterior section once more, we just need to use the nearby gondola in order to get back inside on the upper level. We'll then need to use a series of maintenance hatches as an alternative route back to the surface. This is due to the Frostburn Grievers breaking free and sending the entire facility into lockdown. We'll also need to scan this new variant for our logbook. One of the last things we'll grab before meeting back up with Tokabi is through the door that gets broken by a Griever near the medical bay's save station. There we'll find another missile expansion. Feel free to stop by the medical bay's save station if you need to heal and resupply, then continue on towards Tokabi. We'll need to make use of one final maintenance tunnel to reunite with Tokabi, where we will then need to fight off a few waves of Frostburn Grievers. I've found that a quick fire shot followed by ample regular beams is the best method of dispatching this enemy type. Following this fight and a brief cutscene, we can then use the large lift nearby to reach the quarantine level. I missed it on my first time through, but there is a small room that we can blast our way into for another missile expansion on our way to the boss room. Use Sidekick Lasso to get the large door open, and feel free to pause if you want to face the upcoming boss blind. The boss, Keratos, is not too difficult once you figure out its main mechanics. After scanning it, we just need to avoid its attacks while shooting it in its exposed eye. If it summons a wall of ice around its body, use Fire Shot to quickly melt the ice, then return to shooting its eye. After dealing enough damage to its eye, Keratos will eventually try to run us down. After making sure the wall behind us is coated in ice, we can wait for it to charge, then dodge out of the way. Keratos should stick into the ice wall, exposing the Metroid core on its belly for us to deal up to a quarter of true damage to its health. It's then just a matter of rinsing and repeating until the beast is busted. Defeating Keratos will get us the Sidekick Boost Ball upgrade, which we will need to activate the Sacred Shrine for our third teleporter key, and also to get out of this room. There is then a spinner that we must activate with Boost Ball to return to Tokabi. And it was at this point that I finally scanned Tokabi before making my way back out to the tundra. There's another device just as we enter back into the tundra, which we can use to shortcut our way back to the entrance facility. There, we now have the means of obtaining the ice chip. Going to the upper level, we can blast open a weakened glass panel, then use the control beam to open the nearby door. We'll then use Boost Ball to activate the console via spinner, and finally we can interact with the console to release our ice chip. That is everything we can do during this first trip through the ice belt, and I'll briefly go through my whole logbook to show what our scan progress should look like at this point, at least if you've been following from the start of part 1. We have a few stops to make before we are able to tackle Flare Pool, and all of that will be covered in the next part of this series. For now, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me in the comments where I will do my best to help. If you want to see more great content, you can head over to my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cat, her name's Marshmallow. Have a great day. If you're here today, have a great Wednesday, and as always, thanks for watching.